I think the first step is understanding that transitions are not easy and acknowledging it, accepting it. Because I think sometimes it's very easy to be in denial and act like you're not experiencing the transition. That was me, and I had to still get to the point of acceptance. So save yourself the time and trouble and just accept that transitions are hard. I think the next step would be being able to capture every moment. Because when you're in a new phase, when you're in a new location, there's so many amazing things happening around you, but it's all about your attitude and how present you are in the moment. So taking time to journal, take pictures, really lean in and experience, I think is a very good way to handle transitions. And the next piece of it would be finding community. This is one place where it's okay to look for people who may be similar to you or like-minded as you, because you're just trying to find some aspect that could feel like home while you continue to set your foundation and eventually expand yourself. So find community, find people who love to do the same things as you, find people who are like interested in similar things or are willing to try challenges like you're willing to try. And I feel like that also makes the experience even more exciting, because now you're no longer transitioning on your own, you're with people who are also going through the same phase. So you guys can share stories, you guys can laugh, you can cry, and like pick yourself up again. I think that is the beauty about transitions. Yeah, so I've learned that I am open. I'm open to trying, I'm open to being uncomfortable, and I've also learned that just because I feel uncomfortable, that does not mean I'm in the wrong place. And I think sometimes we equate negative or not so good feelings with bad things. And that's something I've learned, and thankful for transition moments that have taught me that the place of discomfort is actually where you grow. Because that's where you extend yourself, where like, oh, I'm the only one in the room who does XYZ. Now you're forced to learn about the other people in the room. And that is not comfortable, but the more you begin to learn, and the more you're able to realize like, oh wow, these are things I didn't know, I'm learning more, I'm gaining more perspective. So I really learned that I'm open, which is why I can do like risky things that I have done in the past. I think that is a great valuable lesson. So thinking about my recent transition, I'm looking to apply the same things. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna join that group in this activity, I'm gonna try this experience even though I've never done something like that before, because I always believe like on the other side of an unfamiliar experience is a version of you that you may never experience if you don't say yes. And I'm always looking to say yes and see what else can come out of this woman sitting before you. No, it's like a hodgepodge of emotions. There's excitement because you're trying to do something new, but there's a little bit of fear because what if everything goes so wrong? I mean, the fear is not so much emphasized because we always know that things work out even when they don't. And it just always, you look back and you're like, yeah, laugh at yourself in that moment. But I also think emotions of, like you're pulling away from the familiar things and people that you know. I think that's the biggest one. And it doesn't always hit you, at least for me. It took moments of like, oh wow, you actually like left home, or you actually like left the US, like where you've already built credibility, built community, built relationships. It doesn't mean those relationships die, they don't. I'm actively cultivating them, but then it's just like a sense of loss that you may feel. But then again, the excitement, the adrenaline is so much. It's almost like, yes, it may seem like I'm losing this one thing, but here is all that I'm gaining, which is so much more. Because these people are not going anywhere. I'm still gonna be with them in some capacity, and they're just gonna continue on my journey. So it's a lot of emotions. It's hard to even express what that feels like. Yeah. I think the hardest thing about me then, I probably was just like this 16-year-old that didn't, again, I didn't think too much about anything. But then it's like when you leave home, it's like you're leaving home. Like there's no caretaker, anybody saying, oh, I'm watching over Derby, like I'm gonna see if she's okay. I mean, your family and friends will text you, are you okay? But then there's a part of you that also says like, oh, I don't want them to worry about me because I'm sure they have other things to worry about. But you no longer have that direct person who's responsible for you, and now you have to grow up even faster and be your caretaker, be your own person. It's a lot. And then, I mean, let's talk about the important moments that will be missed. So while I always still try to like, be there for critical moments like a sister's wedding, there are other things that you're not going to be there for, which is part of the sacrifices that comes with going far away from home. But I think in all, it all comes together in terms of how, I'm still able to like make time for family, still able to look back and say like, wow, this journey was for good, and I'm glad I took the journey. Oh, I'm very intentional. I check in on people. Shout out to social media. You even stay in touch. I stay in touch with more people than I probably should be staying in touch with, and just getting a glimpse of what people are doing. But then again, I'm always down for a 2-hour catch up. Not everybody, by the way, but like the people who really matter to me. And then again, I'm very sensitive, so it doesn't matter if I'm in Antarctica or the other part of the world. I always sense when my friends, are either going through something or need me, and in that moment I'm able to, first of all, pray for them, send them an encouraging word, and just say like, hey, are you okay? How are you doing? And then like when there are events and celebrations, I think I'm in that point in my life where it's like a friend is getting married, we're gonna fly to that country. It doesn't matter how much it costs, because now is the time for showing up for your friends. And I'm a firm believer of like showing up for friends and families in that way. Yeah, again, I stay hopeful. I think with hope we can get through anything, and I also like stay in touch with them. But I stay optimistic because there's a lot coming ahead of me. There are new friendships, there are new relationships, there are new experiences. So it goes back to the comment I made the other day about not being so focused on the past that I forget the present, which I have been put into to experience. So all in all, it's like doing the best I can to like stay in touch with them, and them staying in touch with me, but also knowing that, hey, there's a new adventure here, and to be a disservice to not lean into that adventure and max it out, because it's not forever. Who knows? I don't know. Yeah. That is a phenomenal question. I would say, for me, when I think about relocating, I don't think about like, oh, you're losing contact with the people that matter the most to you. I think about it as a learning opportunity and an opportunity to embrace the unknown. I will always embrace the unknown in life when given the opportunity to, because the results of growth, the exposure, I think you can't quantify it. And like money cannot buy, and there's no experience in like a classroom or in a program that can give you that opportunity. So I think I will always say yes to the unknown. And then the goal is also to bring the other people to the unknown to experience, so they get what you're seeing and what you're experiencing. So yeah, so that's it on like transitions. Transitions have been, again, very impactful in my life. There's a lot to learn, but then again, it's like remembering that it's a process. Everybody has their own style, but making it simple, breaking down into steps, meeting people, trying new things, but also not overdoing it, because you have to remember, change is always constant, but too much change can terrify a human being. So give yourself grace, lean in, and actually have fun. It's not that deep. Life is short. YOLO.